Um, but my favorite moment of the entire thing was when Kieran Culkin was getting his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. And he told a story about how, he and his wife, he'd asked his wife if they could have a third kid. They have two kids, and there's some kind of a deal about his work. And then she says, if you get an Oscar, if you get an Academy Award for this, what the show he was in, which was Pain, something.
I don't know.
What? A Real Pain. Thank you, Alex, our intrepid producer. If you get the Oscar, we can have 4. And so he didn't tell anybody that. They never talked about it since that night, which would have been a couple years ago. And he tells the story on stage. And he says, "Do you remember that, honey?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I just thought it was so charming.
Yeah.
That here's a guy who tells a story about having more kids, not telling a story about, I'm grateful that I had an abortion so I could do my career. I mean, it's just, to me, it was a charming moment that was wholesome, that was a great example of how we should be looking at life. I mean, he is celebrating life in the sense that it's a gift to be able to have 2, 3, 4, and I'm just a huge fan of him anyway. So maybe I'm biased as well, because I thought his acting in Succession was, as Roman, what's the last name? Did you watch Succession?
No.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
No, I've been told I should.
You should. He was phenomenal in
Yeah.
that show. And so I'm a big fan of him anyway. So I just thought that was a great moment for the Oscars. Now, it went well. Had some great, the kickoff with Ariana Grande and I can't remember the name of the woman from Wicked.
Yeah, from Wicked.
Probably the best musical performance
I mean,
I've seen at the Oscars.
Because that movie actually was one of the better feel-good movies of the year.
Yeah,
so
but the fact that they performed it as well
done.
as they did live it was a testament. I mean, this woman has got
But then
real
they
talent.
but then they go off the rails. And I didn't watch, but I've listened to the analysis and some of the other things. I mean, giving the best documentary to a truly anti-Semitic,
That's where I was
anti-Israel,
going. It was going
piece
well,
of garbage.
and then it went totally off the rails.
Yeah, and not even giving a hearing to Matt Walsh's documentary, "Am I Racist?" which was the number one documentary, grossing documentary of the year, and brilliantly done. But no, we don't do that. Yeah. But we're going to give the best documentary to an anti-Semitic tropey,
not just anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas,
yeah, pro-Hamas,
pro-Hamas
piece of garbage.
Yeah, it was outrageous,
and people were clapping. It just was so bizarre. I did see those clips. I understand Adrian Brody, like his speech went off the rails. The anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas, tropey, disgusting, terrorism that pervades Hollywood right now needs to be in check. And some of the analysis I heard was this is Hollywood at its lowest in many ways.
Yeah.
Even the Best Picture, one Best Picture about some sex worker.
Yeah.
And it made like $15 million.
Yeah, it was not the kind of movie that the average viewer is going to go watch.
It made no sense. So
it got like 4 or 5 awards.
If to be considered for Best Picture, you have to meet all these woke checkpoints and criteria. I think Hollywood is in deep trouble because
I think is going to change because I mean, not that Reagan was ever going to get.
No, it wasn't even that type of movie.
It didn't even get. It was never considered for Best Picture because it didn't meet the DEI requirements of the cast and crew.
Well, and Dennis Quaid should at least gotten a nod as actor because he did that role brilliantly.
I mean, there were times when I was watching, because I've watched that movie 4 or 5 times, that he he nailed Reagan.
Yeah.
The mannerisms, the cadence. I mean, it is uncanny how
Yeah.
well he did. I mean, just a phenomenal performance.
Well, and look at what you're seeing in alternative media, Angel Studios, other types of media. Faith-based family pictures are on the rise.
Yeah.
And Hollywood doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to embrace it, or because these are independent studios that are doing their own thing,
right.
And some of them are publicly funded. They're
Yeah.
crowdfunded. Angel Studios has been that way for a long time,
Right.
And the tide is turning in a different direction. It's a different world now, and Hollywood proved the other night they haven't quite figured it out.
Well, we'll leave it with this. You're right. Hollywood hasn't proven it. They're always a little bit behind. They think that they're ahead.
No,
They think that they're on the cutting edge of culture. They're actually lagging, because one of the things that I've both read and noticed, church attendance is on the rise.
Yes. Well,
when we say America is back, it's not just that there's optimism about America. I think there's a renewal of faith in God at this point.
Well, and where that's happening is with our young people.
Yeah.
And a renewed faith in God, a renewed, interest in the country and in patriotism and old values. And there's a Pew Research document that just came out. I think that's what you're referencing, that those who identify as Christian or church going and as leveled off is now rising. And that you don't see that in a lot of societies.
No.
You certainly never didn't see that in Europe, which is why Europe is where it is.
Right.
And for America to live up to its promise and its principles, which we embody here at Light Beer Dark Money, faith, freedom, free enterprise. Number one is faith. Without a faith in God, this country will die.
Yep. 100%. On that note, folks.
Yeah. God bless.
Happy Ash Wednesday.
Happy Ash Wednesday.
Take
God
care.
bless.
See ya.